Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another week of the show. We have finally came up with a name. It is officially Excellent Sports Talk with Mark. Don't you love it? Because I love it. So that is the name we are going to go ahead and move forward with. Excellent Sports Talk. I'm glad to have you here for another week. I truly do appreciate you guys coming out every week, every Friday to join me in this excellent sports talk, as you can see right there, excellent sports talk with Mark. And so we have some good topics today. It's a special show today, so I'm excited to give it to you. So first, we are going to start off with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes got a lot of money. He's got a lot of money now in that bank account. He's a rich, happy man now. So we are going to go ahead and talk about that. Then we are going to go ahead and talk about some sports returning. It's been a couple of live sports that's been happening over the past week, as I can say, it's about week and a half. So we are going to dive into that as well. And we also have a guest this week. We're going to talk with Lucretia Hallman, who is the owner of the Texas Revelation. And we are going to go ahead and talk with her and just to get to know a little bit more about the team and everything. So I'm excited to really bring you this show. And let's dive right in it. So, as we said in the beginning, Patrick Mahomes recently signed a 10-year, $503 million contract. I'm going to say this again. A 10-year, $503 million contract, which is the richest contract in the NFL, in NFL history. Like nobody in all the history of NFL has reached this height. And that is stunning. That is stunning. That is, woo. I know whoever's Patrick Mahomes' agent is like giving themselves hugs and stuff wherever he's at, just landing this deal with the Kansas City Chiefs for him to receive that much money. And we're talking about 10 years. That is a long time with one organization. That is a feat in itself, right? It's only been a couple of people who has that status to have that contract. I think Tom Brady was one of them. Tom Brady was in New England for a long time now. And now Patrick Mahomes is going to be in Kansas City for a long time. It's just absolutely amazing. So just in between that, what stood out to me is that even if Patrick Mahomes get hurt, he is still guaranteed $141 million. This is even if he gets a major injury, he's still going to receive $141 million. That is crazy. He doesn't even have to play a down if he gets hurt. He's still going to be $141 million richer. Come on now. Come on. That is nuts. That man is set for life. He is good. He is good. He set his children whenever, if he has children or whenever he has children, they're good. His grandchildren is probably going to be good. And basically, even with that, throughout the whole 10 years, right, it's dealing on his performance. So if he performs at a high level that he's doing now, he will be okay. He will be okay with getting this money. That the Chiefs will gladly pay him if he continues to do what he's doing now. So and let's be honest, Patrick Mahomes is well deserving of the contract, right? I mean, just think his first year when he started in Kansas City, he wins MVP. He wins MVP, and then he goes out his second year starting, winning the Super Bowl. And every player knows that the Super Bowl is just a little bit more higher on their list than winning MVPs. I don't think individual awards really matter, especially with quarterbacks, you know? Everybody know they're going to praise the quarterback, man. It's just how it is. The quarterback gets all the shine. The ball's in their hand basically. The ball's in their hands 100% of the time. And Patrick Mahomes make plays, man. He makes plays. He just gets his job done. And don't get me wrong, he has a great team around him. He has an excellent team around him offensively. I mean, you can't go wrong with Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Those two dudes are studs in itself. And then they add really fast wide receivers on the other end to really complement Tyreek Hill has Sammy Watkins, whose hands is made of glue. And it's just an amazing it's an amazing team there in Kansas City. Now defensively, they can be hot and cold. I mean, they did enough to win the Super Bowl, so I guess there's no complaining about that, right? And so let's look at this. I mean, next year, if they have a football season, of course, you never know with what's going on now, but if they have a football season, the Chiefs pretty much return basically 90% of their starters that played on that Super Bowl team. So they're pretty much set, right? And then they added talent in the draft. So they're basically set to make another Super Bowl run this year. And I always think it's harder to get to the Super Bowl. I mean, just to get to that spot in the NFL than any other sport, right? It's really hard. And from everything that's going on here, it looks like it's going to be another go around. I mean, it's going to be another deep playoff run for the Chiefs unless something like completely derails them, which will be catastrophic for them. But I don't see that happening. I just don't see that happening. So Kansas City is definitely due for a run, and Patrick Mahomes is, I mean, he's the best quarterback in the NFL, no doubt about it. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. On the best team. I mean, they proved it last year. They was good from Jump Street. Of course, they had some games where they just wasn't all the way there, and you can tell. And I mean, that's okay. I mean, not every Super Bowl winner is perfect. Even New England was undefeated and lost in the Super Bowl against the New York Giants. So, of course, Super Bowl teams going to go through some hoops and hurdles to get where they need to be. And it's just good to see that Kansas City found some stability with Patrick Mahomes, keeping him there for another 10 years. That man is going to retire a Kansas City legend. I mean, not too many people, especially in football. I mean, that in itself, football contracts are usually not as big as those, say, of like the NBA and soccer, because those guys get money over there. Oh man, they get a lot of money over there in the NBA and soccer and baseball as well. Ooh, they bring out some money for them, and it's just shocking because the NFL is usually not one of those, sports where they'll give you 10-year contracts. Because I mean, think about it. It's a full contact sport, right? It's a lot of ways to get injured playing in the NFL. And just to give out 10-year contracts, that in itself, it could be scary, right? Because you never know what might happen. It could be injuries. It could be major injuries that could occur, and you have to honor that contract regardless. And players sometimes don't come back the same when you have some of those major injuries in football like they do, and it happens a lot. I mean, it's a lot of knee injuries. It's a lot of concussions that go on in the NFL. That's a big deal. You know, they get hit in the NFL. We're talking about guys who's running 20, 25 miles per hour at you, full strength, and these are not small dudes. These are big men. So 10-year contracts is pretty rare in the NFL, but for Patrick Mahomes' sake, I think it was well due. The Kansas City Chiefs did not want this man to go and test the free agency waters, because I'm pretty sure every team in the league would put their name in a hat so they can go ahead and get Patrick Mahomes. So there's no worry about Patrick Mahomes leaving anywhere. But I mean, as long as they keep winning, then why leave, right? But here's the the short side of the stick with signing Patrick Mahomes to all that money. Other players on that team who's proven to be big for the Chiefs, are they going to take a bargain deal just to stay in Kansas City and win? I think not. Let's be truly honest. I mean, in the NFL, you definitely want to make your money because you really don't know how long your career is going to last in the NFL. So why would you want to take a bargain deal just to stay and win on a team and really not make your money for the long run? Because I think that's most important for football players. I don't think it's as much as for basketball players, because you don't get nearly as injured as much as you don't in the NFL. So in the NBA. So you really don't get too many injuries, right? So of course you can just sign a big deal and stay where you're at. And of course, baseball is the same. You rarely have any injuries, like really major injuries. I mean, they do occur, don't get me wrong, in other sports world, but I mean, we're talking about full contact sport, like I said, with the NFL. So players like Chris Jones is a beast for the Kansas City Chiefs on the defensive lineman. He has been for the past 2 years. It's just been a force, just gobbling up double teams. So linebackers and safeties can easily get into those gaps to stop the run or eventually get a sack for the Kansas City Chiefs. So Chris Jones is well overdue for a payday. I don't think it's in Kansas City, right? You have somebody that's going to offer him $50-60 million deal just for them to play in Kansas, plays elsewhere. Kansas City can't offer that to him. It just signed Patrick Mahomes to a $503 million deal. So you have to really think about that when it comes to who you're paying. I mean, of course, Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback, so you have to pay him. He's the star of the league, of the NFL. He's the star of Kansas City Chiefs. So congrats to him. He has a big contract ahead of him, and well deserved, I must say. So we are going to go ahead and move on to the next topic. And we're going to talk about sports resuming. There has been a couple of live sports has been going on lately. So we're talking about the MLS. The MLS has been, which is Major League Soccer, if you do not know. So MLS has been started for the past few days. And so it started with the Orlando FC, which is Orlando Football Club, versus Miami. And Orlando was the winner in that. Then we have Philadelphia and New York. Philadelphia was the winner in that. We also have Montreal and New England. And New England was the winner in that. So the MLS is returning. It's weird. I can't say it's a little awkward to see sports without fans. It was very weird to see sports without fans cheering them on. I seen on the Orlando and Miami game, they had fans on the Jumbotron kind of cheering them on. I thought that was interesting. So this is basically what's become a sports now due to this pandemic, and it sucks. It sucks that it has to be this way, but it is. But it is refreshing to see, some type of live sports happening. I know it's been a lot of replays of sports going on over the past couple of months since basketball basically ended. And so it's good. It seems that players are, going back to their normal ways. I seen when I was watching the MLS game, it felt like nothing stopped. They was out there hustling. They was out there doing what they had to do to get the win. And I was all for it. Honestly, generally I'm not exactly the biggest, MLS fan, but of course, me being a sports junkie, I had to watch. So it was good. It was good to see, players go out, do what they love, and just get back to playing sports. So with the MLS going on, we also have basketball that has been going on. So the basketball tournament, which if people do not know what the basketball tournament is, basically it starts during this time when basketball is usually over, because this is usually the time where basketball is over. We'll start worrying about the NBA draft and also NBA Summer League, which is basically canceled for this year. Or it might not be canceled this year. They just might move it to another time because, we still got to figure out how the NBA is going to work itself out. But the basketball tournament usually starts over the summer. And basically it's basketball players who used to be in the NBA or who was really good in their college and really never received that chance to make it to the NBA, and who usually play overseas or who plays in the G League. They have a chance to play basically a one and done game. So if you lose, you're out the tournament, and whoever wins the tournament receives $1 million. Now, of course, they have to split that up between the coaches, all the players, and basically all the staff that's there. But I think they're going to receive a little bit more money because players are not a lot of staff members, I should say, are there due to the virus. So players will receive their cut. Of course, the coaches who are there and the training people as well. But it has been interesting to see basketball being played again, live basketball. It has been a breath of fresh air, I should say. And we're talking about some great players who played in the NBA. I seen a game where Willie Reed, he was a good player in the NBA. He was playing in the basketball tournament. ISO Joe Johnson was in the game yesterday that I watched. He looks great for a man who's almost 40 years old, playing against 20, 23, 24, 25-year-old guys. He could still ball out for a 40-year-old guy. He's excellent. And we've seen a lot of upsets in the basketball tournament. And I also want to address the the Elam ending, which is a very interesting way to end games. So what they basically do is they take the winning team score in the final 4:30 of the fourth quarter. So they basically stop the game clock altogether, and then they add about, I think, either 6 or 8 points to the total score of the winning team, and whoever wins that and whoever reaches that score will be the winner. So basically, it's a game winner every time. It could be a blowout. It could get close. So if it's a close game, it could go either way. And I have been a big supporter of that. And honestly, I think the NBA should really consider that. They did in the NBA All-Star game, and let me tell you, that All-Star game was amazing. Best All-Star game I have seen in years. We're talking about these dudes was actually playing, like hooping. We see LeBron James get blocked by Giannis, and everybody's like, oh, LeBron James is getting old. Here comes Giannis. That was a big deal. And then we had Anthony Davis at the line. Game was close. He missed one. They say it was on purpose. He wanted to add some more pressure on him to get that game-winning free throw that he did in Chicago, his hometown. It was amazing. And why not? Why not add that into the NBA? Why not add that to the NBA? So the basketball tournament start, and it seems good. It seems like these guys are in good spirits. Now they are in a bubble, the bubble, just like the NBA is in Orlando. They're in Ohio. So they basically have to stay in Ohio and just, hang out and basically stay in their hotels until, it's time for them to go and play basketball. And of course, they have to get tested. They have to get tested a lot, but that's all right. I mean, that's the risk they took, when they decided to play in the basketball tournament. But it's good to see basketball being played again, and I think it's a good time to see what the NBA could do, seeing how the basketball tournament went and the success that they had. Now, honestly, it's not as many teams in the basketball tournament as it is in the NBA that's going to be resuming. So the NBA has a lot more people to account for. But the NBA could really look at this and like, okay, so basketball is being played. These guys look like they're healthy. They're not having any problems with, have maybe catching the coronavirus. So it's good for them to really adjust and like see what's going on with the basketball tournament and the MLS as well. And seeing these guys are just doing what they love and they're doing a good job. It seems like these sports are taking the necessary precaution and doing what they need to do to continuously keep the sports in motion, which is an excellent starting off point for when I appreciate it, Patrick. Thank you for coming through the show. So, like I was saying, it's an excellent starting off point to see how sports can resume, and taking notes from this and like, okay, these guys did it right. We can do the same thing. So this is going to be big. So when the NBA starts back at the end of July, and also the MLS starting in July 23rd and the 24th, they can really see how things work and take notes and be like, okay, this is okay. We know these guys were healthy. At the end of the day, they did what they needed to do, and they returned home safely. And we can just continue on with what we have to do. We have football coming up. Like I said, we don't know what's going on. they canceled the preseason, the NFL, so there'll be no NFL games this year, and that sucks for a lot of fans, and it sucks for Hard Knocks because I know Hard Knocks usually show their preseason games every year. So I know the Los Angeles Rams and Los Angeles Chargers going to have to wait to join their new stadium until the regular season. And then we also have many college sports that are starting to decide on what they're going to do for when fall sports happens. I know a lot of schools have canceled a lot of sports. The Ivy League, which is usually a great football conference, they canceled football altogether this year. So there is no football at all for them, and it hurts for them. But for those seniors who are planning to play this year, they have another year eligibility, so they can play another year. So they can play another year, and then we have other power football conferences who need to make their decision. But from what I know is that they are not going to have out of conference games, so they don't have to travel anywhere far or anything. They just have in conference games. So basically they don't have to leave anywhere. So say I always go back to the Pac-12 because of course I know most about it. So basically the Pac-12 wouldn't play any teams outside of their conference. So I think they were supposed to play Alabama this year. I don't think that's going to happen because that is a long travel to play Alabama. Even if they played in a neutral site, it would have been somewhere like Texas or something. So basically that eliminates all of the travel that they have to do due to the virus. So when it goes back to resuming sports, I think it's just, the world is like a copycat. It's like a copycat league. Like we want to do sports, but we have to see what's going on first. And like I said, with the basketball tournament going on and MLS returning, it's good to really see those sports going on and continuing on with other sports, and I think it's really good for all sports in general, because we all know as fans we want our sports, and we all love it. Now I know it's going to be an uproar when if football doesn't happen, man, because boy, America loves their football, baby. America loves their football, so it's been good, and it's been something to really look forward to in the long run, seeing these two sports go ahead and do what they need to do. So I appreciate what they have going on. It takes a lot for these players to really play the game, knowing the risk of what can happen with the pandemic. So it's going to be interesting to see moving forward what's going to happen. So that's basically it for that segment. So now we're going to go ahead and move forward. We are waiting for our guests to come in. So I'm excited to really go ahead and dive in with that. So Yeah, I just want to go ahead and just address some housekeeping issues. So if you guys want to go ahead and comment or anything that we had today, go ahead and you can go ahead and comment down below, and we're going to go ahead. We can go ahead and talk about whatever, and we are going to basically go and interact with each other. So that'll be lovely. So we are joined here by a very special guest. We have Miss Lucretia Hallman, who is the owner and coach of the Texas Revelation. And so let's go ahead and bring her in. Hey, how you doing today? How's it going? Good, everything.
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm glad that you will be able to join us, and that we can go ahead and talk about the Texas Revelation. So let's go ahead and begin there. So how did the Texas Revelation came about, and just basically how everything got started from the ground? And
So basically, Texas Revelation was a team that was owned by a former owner. His name is Brian Webb. He passed away this past year. So him on blessed me with his team. I was talking to him one day about me wanting to have my own men's team, and telling him what I wanted to do to help the young men and not just in the community here in Dallas, but anywhere, to get them platform to be able to play overseas or wherever they might want to play. So while talking to him, he was telling me, he's like, well, I have one team, but I also have another team, but I only have 2 players on it. He was like, do you want it? And I was like, really? He was like, yeah. He was like, you have it. And from there, I took on the team. He signed over all the paperwork to me, and then I started to build my empire. That's what I call it. I started to build my empire from there.
That's great, and it's I commend you for definitely taking on that team and really pushing that forward and just continuing on with his dream and making it happen. Absolutely. So as a female owner, is it a little bit tougher for you to make everything work and operate for you?
It has been some struggles being a female owner because I've realized a lot of people don't really take us as women in sports very serious. But I had also realized that me being a strong-minded woman, that I've gotten to the point, either you understand my mission and what I'm doing here, or you can find somewhere else, because I'm trying to help. I'm not trying to put money in my pockets, because I don't really take money from my players. I'm trying to help my players get onto another platform. We offer when you are on the team, we offer private sessions. Just let us know, hey, coach, I want to work out today. What time? We have open availability. Me and my coach, Jason Kelly, my head coach, and also my assistant coach, Anastasia Williams, we all make sure that our players get what they need and to be able to go to the next level, whether it's meal prep, weight training, one-on-one sessions on the basketball court. We make sure we do what we can to help our players get to the next level.
Okay, that's really good, and I'm glad that you said that, because that's basically kind of leading into my next question. So, basically, what type of players do you try to look for to get into your team, and do these players come from like college or overseas, or where's their background when they join your team?
Okay, so we do have some players that played college. We've had players that played overseas to play with the organization. Really, what we look for are players that's determined to be better. A lot of times it's not about talent, because a lot of people don't have it, but when you're determined, it doesn't matter how much talent you have, because you're going to make sure you do everything you can do to get on that next level. You're going to come in with your mind ready in order to go ahead and work hard and to do what you need to do in order to become a better player.
Okay, and so, like you said, going back to like the meal prep and everything, that's really like a key for them to like really up their game. And I know that you guys work them hard. I seen you guys a couple of practices ago that you really train these guys to really be the best player that they can be. And sometimes it comes with that tough love, that you guys have to give them to really push them. And so, sorry, go ahead.
They have to understand. Okay, they just have to understand. A lot of players, they come in with the thought of, oh, I'm just coming to hoop. But with this organization, it's not just I'm coming to hoop. It's so much of I'm coming to be better. I'm coming to separate myself from the next player.
Absolutely. And so with that, due to the pandemic, I know things have really, put everything to a halt. And I know that probably had to hit you guys with a lot of games that you probably missed. So what's your plans for you and your coaching staff to really get these players back into game shape and get them ready for games that may be coming up?
So our game plan is making sure that they are on a strict workout. We have a workout plan made for them. It's to be they can add to it, but not to take from it, because of the game plan that we have for them will make them stronger and better players. Before the gyms opened up, we were having outside practice. So we were outside running, making sure they're conditioning, push-ups, core exercise, whatever we can do, since we don't have the gym space at that point, whatever we could do to help them elevate, we were able to do that.
Okay, and so I know with the games coming up, so I don't know if you want to go ahead and talk about some of the games that you did have coming up for you and your team. If you want to go ahead and address that.
Okay, so we've joined a league on Sundays. It's kind of for us, it's a league to prepare us for our NBL season coming up in October. That season will start from October to April, and then April starts the playoffs, and the playoffs go from April to June. So we're preparing for that at the moment, as well as we're preparing for the Maximum Madness tournament, which is on next weekend from the 17th to the 19th in Dallas. I will be promoting that also on my page, as well as the Texas Revelation page, if you would like to get information on probably coming to attend and support us. But we're making sure that we're preparing for these different events we have coming up. We're also looking to, hopefully, if everything if the Lord says the same, we're looking to go to Memphis for a tournament also in September. So we're trying to get ready for those tournaments in our coming up season.
Okay, so and that's big. I mean, of course, traveling outside of your own state, getting that other competition out there in the world, that's got to be huge for you guys.
Oh yeah, we're trying to separate ourselves, make a different standard for the industry, because of it. Sometimes it gets kind of repetitive playing the same teams here in your hometown or in
Right.
Texas. So we try to make sure that our guys get to play guys from other states, because the level of competition is different, rather than being here at home playing against the same people. So we're trying to make sure that we give them the opportunity, as well as we're trying to put together a tour to where we can not only play here in the States, but possibly go overseas to play in other countries so that they can get that experience also.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a big fee. I mean, like you said, that competition it's crazy everywhere, and so really trying to get all of that going on, especially overseas. They love their basketball out there overseas, and it's different. It's different ball out there, and they love it. We're talking about guys who've been playing basically all their lives, right? And that's a different look. So I definitely applaud you for trying to really get out there and just expand your horizons, because there's so much more to the world than just playing in your own hometown, like you said. So I applaud you for that, definitely. So I
Thank you
wanted
so
to,
much.
yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to speak on, where would you like to see the Texas Revelation as a brand and as a basketball team at, maybe in like the next couple of years? What's your vision for the Texas Revelation?
So for the Texas Revelation, we're looking to expand, not only just for men. We're looking to expand to have a young women's team, as well as a young men's mentoring team. With the coronavirus and everything going on right now, I put it on halt, because I would rather let the children be safe. I don't want any children to be in any kind of danger being around people when the coronavirus is going on. So I put that on standby right now until everything clears up. But we're looking to expand to young girls and young boys. We want to do women, but unfortunately, Texas is the market for women's basketball here in Texas is not that big. So we're trying to figure out how to maneuver around that. we really focus more instead of on winning championships. We try to focus more on getting our guys contracts, because to us, contracts for our guys to go and play in other countries is more important rather than winning a ring or winning a championship. We want to make sure that the ceiling is not just semi-pro. We want them to make sure that they go above and beyond semi-pro and to be able to be professionals.
Okay, and that's good because I know a lot. I know a lot of people who really just don't really care about their players. They just, they have talent and they want them just to play basketball with them and win, right? And I noticed that, with playing, with being a high school coach or assistant coach, I'm really not, I just be helping and stuff. But, and you really want to look at those high school players, especially the seniors, and I ask them every year, not every year, every time. So what college do you plan on going and what's your major, right? And it's hard to find those coaches or people who really care about, the players' well-being. And you guys, from what I hear, it seems like you guys really do an excellent job of trying to expand their basketball playing abilities, or in not even that, but just lifestyle wise, beyond basketball. And so it seems like you and your coaching staff are really trying to prioritize making them better people and better players as well.
For sure, we even offer like offering a financial literacy course to our players so that they can understand that even when they do go overseas, a lot of players go overseas and they come home and they don't have any money,
Right.
because so we're trying to make sure they understand how to manage their funds so that when they do come home, they'll still be able to have money to be able to live on. So we try to make sure they understand it's not just about basketball. It also has a lot to do with being able to be a leader in the community, being able to show that you are who you say you are, not just so much talking it, but not just talking the talk, but also walking the walk.
Absolutely, and I appreciate to hear that you guys do that for the players. So basically, that's all the questions I had. I just want to go ahead and open the floor to you if you have any information about the Texas Revelation and how they can reach out to you, and players who want to maybe be prospects for your team. You can go ahead and shout that web information you had for yourself.
Okay, so Texas Revelation, you can contact us by our website, www.texasrevelation.com, and to inquire for a tryout. We do have a tryout tab. Read that information, fill out their form, and one of our coaching staff will get back to you. Also, if you are looking for a team, right now we're looking for post players, 6'5" and up, 225 and up. We're looking for bigs. We have a lot of guards and looking for a big guard. So we are really in the market for specific players right now. So if you have any interest in joining Texas Revelation organization, just contact us at www.texasrevelation.com at the tryout tab.
All right, so you guys hear it, man. If you guys are big players, big guards, and big close players, man, do not hesitate to go to the website and reach out to Texas Revelation, because they need you guys out there. So go ahead and get you some buckets, man. They need some big men out there. So let's go ahead and get that done. And so I'm going to be looking out for you guys. I hope you guys can go ahead and move on with the women as well, and also the boys and girls, and just continue to spread positivity, what you guys are doing, you and your coaching staff. And I thank you for joining me and having you on. And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we are going to go ahead and continue on with the show. So like I said, if you want to go ahead and reach out to the Texas Revelation, go ahead. Like she said, the website is there, and www.texasrevelation.com. Go ahead and reach out to them and just become better players and better people. Like she said, they do a lot with you, do private workouts. Make sure you're eating right. Make sure you're right when you go out to the overseas. You come back, you're good to go with money wise. Just anything that you need. Texas Revelation is doing that for you guys. So, And like I said, they need some post players. Go ahead and reach out to them. It's a great it's a great opportunity for you guys to really showcase your talents. And I commend them for what they are doing with their program. And like I said, when I was an assistant coach over the past year, last basketball season, we want to make we I think good coaches want to make people better, not in basketball but in life. And like I said in the interview, that I always ask which college my players was going. And of course, when you're in high school, you really don't know what you want to do. Yeah, in life, you still have a little while to figure it out. But life is different when you get into college, and it's hard to really focus on what you want to do in life. So even after basketball, which a lot of players don't understand, it's basketball is not a guaranteed thing at all. So you want to fall something back on. So education could be that one thing. And so great coaches like Lucretia, who's a great owner and a great coach, want to better yourself for your life. And that is amazing on how they are working. They are working, operating out there. So I appreciate them. So we have a comment from Amber, one of my biggest fans, and she said, "That's amazing that you're providing financial literacy. It's so important. It's very important, especially for athletes. Because we know at the end of the day, this money is not going to last. This NBA money is not going to last. So you really have to invest. You really have to invest in yourself. You save your money. If you're gonna go ahead and spend it smartly, right? Make good investments. Go ahead and own something, right? Own something that's going to keep making you money. I think LeBron James is probably one of the best athletes who has done that. He's making millions off the court. He's not even playing basketball. We're talking about Nike deals. We're talking about TV shows. We're talking many outside things beyond the court that's really making him money. So we want to better these athletes, right? To do something beyond sports. And so it's a good thing to see many of these players who are doing what they have to do and with saving their money and really moving forward, being straight for their family for the whole year, and just moving on and continuing with their lives. So I want to go back and say thank you to Mr. Lucretia Hallman, who was my guest today, talk about the Texas Revelation. And so basically, for the last 10 minutes of the show, we're going to go ahead and just speak about the direction of the show. So basically, with sports coming back at the end of July, I do plan on making the show 2 hours long instead of 1 hour. I will want to have more guests on the show. Within an hour, it's kind of hard to manage everything, trying to talk about these sports topics and fit the guests in all at the same time and still have time. I'm basically one of those people who is trying to train and end the show on time, because when you get into the professional world, there's no continuing on with time. You're basically on their time unless you own the spot, which is always the plan. You can do whatever you want. So that's basically where we're going to move forward. I do plan on having more guests. This is a great first guest that that we had today. We go way back. So our Southwestern days. that was a minute ago. Oh my goodness. So that's always good. So yeah, the direction of the show, we're trying to go ahead and get 2 hours. I have more to talk about when basketball's return, football is beginning, and baseball is returning as well. So we have a lot to talk about. And so that's basically the biggest direction of the show. And so if you go on, I thank you for putting this. If you go on to the video, you can see the website of the Texas Revelation. You can go ahead and basically go out there and go ahead and get recruited. Go ahead and become a better player and a better person, right? Go ahead and do that. So that's definitely the direction of my show. We're going ahead and talk about 2 hours. Go ahead and get more guests on the show, and then hopefully we can move on to podcasting, which I could do. I hope to have an iTunes show and a Spotify show. And I think Jesse, who is a good friend of mine from school, he put me on to the podcasting world. So we're going to go ahead and hopefully try to make that happen and do that. So we can go ahead and expand what we have going on. We have an excellent title, I think, with our sports topic and with Excellent Sports Talk Mark. I think that's a good start to the show. Finding a name for ourselves, and that's great. So we are going to continue on. And like I said, if you want to go ahead and comment with anything that you heard today, you want to talk about the with sports returning with the basketball tournament, and also the MLS returning, and also Patrick Mahomes' fat contracts, and also other sports topic that you may have in mind. Go ahead and please, by all means, comment on Facebook and YouTube. We are basically coming down to the end of the show. So I want to go ahead and start wrapping up. I want to thank again Miss Lucretia Hallman, who came onto the show and talked about the Texas Revelation. And also we are going to figure out more guests that will be on the show, and hopefully we can definitely have more interaction with you guys. I love interacting with everybody, and we can go back and forth in the comment section. We can go ahead and talk smack about anything. So we are going to go ahead and wrap it up. So we will be back here next Friday with more excellent sports talk. And so you guys come on back from noon to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we are going to go ahead and dive into more stuff that's going on in the sports world. So I just want to thank you everybody for coming out to the show, and we'll see you again next week. So I'll see you guys later. Peace.